With Eternal Weekend right around the corner, I'm trying my hardest to practice, and I'm failing so miserably. All right, welcome back, vintage gamers, to one more practice league. I decided that I think Wednesday night, when this will probably air on Wednesday. Wednesday night, I'll do a stream. It'll be a fun, some kind of brew or something like that before Eternal Weekend to try to take the edge off. So I'll do one more serious testing league with the same list that I played in the challenge. So apologies to Lurrus PO haters, but I do think that preparing myself to best win the tournament is more important, and I think it's still gonna be good content, right? So we're gonna do some more practice today. This is gonna be the same 75. There are tons of ways we can configure this deck. I feel that true flex slots are dress down, opal, lantern, chain, swords, fluster, stuff like that. Bobble. I think these are your flex slots, and I'm very comfortable with the way we have it currently configured. It is obviously a little bit more on the Lurrus side, like we have a bobble, a little bit more on the artifact side for speed with a double opal and extra artifacts. A little bit more on the anti-mono white side with chain swords and dress down. But that is, I think, playing towards how I want the deck to be played. And I think there are other ways you can build the deck along the combo to control spectrum that will make the deck better or worse for you. I still am hesitant about the planes, but I have been liking the planes. There are more cards that I want in my sideboard. I think I'd like to have some more anti-combo cards in my sideboard, but I just don't know where you're supposed to fit those. I think if you could figure out a better mana base without the planes, then this planes could be an anti-combo card. It's something I'm going to be thinking about in the next 2 days while I finalize my list. I do think the idea of going down to 2 Pyroblast instead of 3 in the board has helped take the pressure off of Volcanic Island and has made me a little bit happier with that red splash. So that has been working out really well. And I do think that the 4 Graveyard Hate, Lurrus Recursion cards that affect Metalcraft and have been good. They've been very good. So I don't think I'm allowed to disrespect Dredge for Eternal Weekend like I did at Steel City. So I think these are kind of locked-in sideboard slots as well. So can I afford? I could if I wanted to free up sideboard slots, what I'd have to do is take some of my flex slots in the main and have them take in sideboard cards. Things like main deck Pyro, things like Second Swords, things like main deck Portable Hold, main deck Negation if you're playing more controlling. All of these things are options, but right now I'm not currently entertaining those changes. But I do think there could be some tweaks here or there depending on exactly what I want going into this weekend. So yeah, this will be the last serious recording. It'll go up on Wednesday. I will have a Friday will be another off-stream recording of testing a different card inside of this PO shell that I recorded yesterday. And then next Monday we'll air the Wednesday night stream, which will be some kind of brewing, some kind of fun thing. I will record after that my tournament recap. Hopefully I did very well in Pittsburgh. And yeah, my current plan right now for Pittsburgh is to play in the I'll be there early, I guess, on Thursday. So I should be able to play in some of the qualifier events that can get buys. I'm really against the whole idea of there being buys in Eternal Weekend at all. But thankfully, I guess I am flying in early enough to try to play in some of those events. So hopefully I will try to get some buys for Vintage. I don't really care as much about getting a buy for Legacy, not going to lie. I'm going to do my best in Legacy, but I really haven't put as much effort as is necessary to have high hopes for Legacy. It's tough. I think I still value playing the Legacy main over playing a Vintage High Roller or something, because it just matters more to me. But yeah, so my main goal here is going to be to put myself in the best possible position to win Vintage Eternal Weekend. And, my goal is to win all 3. I don't think that's it's an unreasonable goal, but I think it's a goal that is worth striving for. Obviously, winning the first one is the most, winning one of them is most important, but there's no reason that I can't try to go into each tournament trying to win it and thinking that I have the skills and deck selection to win it. So we'll see what becomes of my hubris come Eternal Weekend. For now, let's just practice and sharpen those skills because actually our last few events haven't been the most inspiring displays of skill. So practice makes better, and I will see you in round 1 of this Vintage League. Did you know subscribing here on YouTube and following on Twitch are both free ways you can support my vintage content? All right, here we go. Testing game with the cats and the POs versus another cat. With the inclusion of, jeez. This is the downside of playing Paradoxical Outcome, huh? I think this is a keep, which is crazy. If my opponent didn't reveal Lurrus, I'd probably mulligan this hand. But I think with Lurrus reveal, I want to keep this hand. The hell was I even saying? I think with the inclusion of the Lanterns and Crypt, I am actually pretty happy with the Dredge matchup, which leaves me to the point where I'm actually fairly happy with all of my matchups. I do think that this current approach to PO doesn't leave me with as many heavy win polarized matchup spreads. And that is kind of by design. This deck is meant to be very good at giving me opportunities to play against every deck in the format. And it's going to be a little bit more on me to make good decisions. And that is, I do think that is a little bit of a departure from my historical approach to playing Magic and Vintage. I've always been someone who heavily advocates for high power free wins. And this deck does give that, which is why I'm still playing it. But as I've progressed in Vintage over the last, I guess, 7 years or so, I have found that I've improved a lot as a player, and to the point where my experience and knowledge of the format can help me overcome power discrepancies in the deck. And in general, I find myself wanting more opportunities to play matches that, you know, that maybe opponent has an extremely powerful start. And the way you do that is by making your deck a little bit more reactive, a little bit more, pulling a little bit further away from all in on your combo. And that, comes with cons. It's got pros to it, but it also comes with cons. Just like conceptual things to think about. I assume it's this Time Walk. I'm not sure what else is blue on turn 1. Yeah. Time Walk Mox is really good at breaking serve on the draw because you will immediately be ahead of your opponent in mana and have a little bit more control, especially with cards like Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Pyroblast. I assume my opponent is on blue-black or Esper Frog, though. Which is a matchup I'm happy to play, but it's not by no means a, wow. A crazy good matchup. Main deck Null Rod, turning both of our Sapphire... turning both of our Sapphires off. This leaves my opponent with Time Walk having the mana advantage, and I am not going to fetch. I'm going to just keep using my fetch lands to prevent myself from being overexposed to Wasteland. That will change if I draw a Trainer, which is the card I want to draw by the most here to turn on my Flame. Main deck Null Rod, though. Main deck Null Rod makes this hand a lot worse than it was before. Frog makes sense. This hand got a lot worse because of that. I'm going to go with the Meticulous Archive this time. I can't actually deal 5 damage and kill this frog, which is pretty crazy. I'm in a pretty bad spot, all things considered. Double Mox and double PO is not what we're looking for against this Null Rod. Having to put away this... I guess I don't have to bin this Volcanic Island. I could instead fetch. Maybe I just have to run this flame and as a shatter. Okay, I do think I'm going to bin it and just run this flame as is. It's really unfortunate. I don't really want to use this as a shatter, but I think I'm going to have to. And I think it's better to play into negation than it is to play on their turn with open mana. Yeah. They had Spell Pierce and negation, so I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. In this way, I get 2 cards instead of 1. I guess the silver lining here is that I do have the lands to cast a PO for 2. I don't think that's a good enough silver lining, though. I really... Obviously, my hand was low power, right? But we had a Sapphire on the play. We had a draw 2 on turn 2, theoretically. Jesus. And we have lands to not lose to Wasteland. And, like, yeah, our Paradox outcomes were bad, right? But I think the hand had the cards I wanted in general for the Frog matchup. It didn't line up very well against Sapphire Time Walk Null Rod main. Second Spell Pierce. Yeah, I mean, this could not have really gone worse. We're just going to concede this game is basically over. It's just going to take another 6 turns or something. So might as well try to push forward here. Going to go with our 8 cards in plan where we take out Forces and Lantern and Opals. And I typically don't like Chain as much when I'm trying to play this more controlling game. Might leave in a Opal, take out APO. It's weird because you like want Bobble to turn on your Lurrus, but you also don't want to like over index into cards that get null rotted. I've also been playing around with like having a Force in the deck. But in general, my plan here is to lean off PO. I could go even further, right? I could take Mana Vaults. Let's try something like this. I've seen this in a couple other from a couple other players, and I want to see how it plays. But in general, the idea is the same, where I'm trying to not really fight over 2-for-1 forces, and I'm not really trying to push through a PO combo. I'm trying to play more of a slow controlling game where I have stronger draw engines in stock up than Frog, and can just remove their Frog every time. Can't mulligan this hand, even though it is a riskier hand. Turn 1 stock up with a Mana Crypt is too strong not to play, even though I am going to take 1,000,000 damage. Are they thinking about negating my Mana Crypt? That'd be pretty bad for me. All right. No land in my top 5 cards is not great. To the point where I think I'm taking this Mishra's Bauble because I want to make sure I hit my blue land. And then I'm going to take Force because I don't think I want another stock up right now. Like, I have a stock up. Could be incorrect, but... And I do want to... They have a Null Rod on top. I do want to play this Ruby before, like, a Vexing Bauble happens. Not that I expect them to have Vexing Bauble in post-board, but... I don't have Brainstorm in my deck, so I don't really gain a lot by holding the Ruby anyways. This represents Pyroblast that I could draw. I've drawn all Moxen, so if I get Wastelanded, I'm in trouble. If I get Null Rotted, I'm in trouble. I'm in really actually a pretty bad spot. My stock up not hitting any lands is surprising, but it is definitely within the realm of possibility. This is kind of how you lose the Frog matchup sometimes, though, is like you get overexposed to Wasteland, you get overexposed to Null Rod or something. My opponent does know my whole hand now with this probe. I will say, like, having access to Force for this Null Rod is pretty reasonable. They're casting it, which means they probably have force backup. Normally, I just like don't care about Null Rod in this matchup at all, but like if my turn one stock up just misses on lands, then now I'm stuck with a mana crypt killing me damage and the ability to no ability to play spells, and I can get wastelanded. It's basically the end of the world. I like there's nothing I can really do. Like I'm not ever mulliganing the hand. So it's just like something that could happen. Obviously, Tolarian Academy is my best draw. I'm just dead, unfortunately. I mean, this was the risk of keeping the hand, but like the idea that stock up misses there is it's not even just stock up missing, right? I drew with Bobble and I drew 2 more for turn, so I went 8 cards deep with seeing no lands. And my opponent also in both games had one of their 2 Moxen in their opening hand, which is not good. That's a 1 mana answer to Null Rod. That would free me, but not really free me enough at this point because I won't have enough blue mana, so. I really don't actually think that this game should be a loss in most cases, but the stock up was really bad for me. But I certainly wasn't winning the game if I was naturally drawing the 5 cards that were on the top of my library, right? So that was not a great showing in a matchup that I think I am generally quite favored in. I will say my opening hand was not very good, and maybe I could mulligan it. I think like it's such a super easy mulligan when there's no Lurrus reveal, but when there's a Lurrus revealed, having like lands to play against Wasteland is so strong. Tough to say. Have to think about it. All right, try this again. The cat. Another turn 1 stock up mana crypt hand. Like I think if there are like non-PO hands that are at the top tier of hands that you want from this deck, like they're going to be mana crypt stock up hands. Volcanic could be the Gifts Breach deck that's got some popularity. Force. Don't think that I want Force to don't think we want Ancestral to resolve. Sorry, I said Force when I was thinking about Ancestral. Too funny. Pretty sure I'm just always stocking up here. And I'm pretty sure I'm fetching non-basic. Nah, I'll time walk. I think gaining the mana advantage is worth it. And I get the extra card off Bobble as well. Can actually build took a Lurrus in this game. I should have looked at my opponent's top card. There was no reason to look at my top card. That's on me. Sorry. Obviously I didn't want to draw that card, and the card's not very good in this matchup. Or here, immediately lost the flip. Cast stock up. I mean, stock up and trainer are both good. I think they're both better than Saga. But they don't play on this turn, so. Planes. Oh, Jeskai. Okay. Oh, all right, it's the mirror. All right, that's fine. All the things I've already said still hold true in terms of what cards are good and what our game plan might be. They took a Flusterstorm. It's good to know about. It's definitely going to lead towards us casting stock up on this turn. Let's take our own Flusterstorm. It's good against their stock up. We will have to be careful with our life total because we do have the active mana crypt flipping against us. We are the one who's resolved stock up twice in this game, though, so should be at the advantage. Another Flusterstorm, Sapphire, Snapcaster, and a land. I think I like land Sapphire so I can play a trainer on this turn and hold open Fluster. think mana advantage and artifact advantage are keys in this matchup, as is like not letting stock up resolve. I don't have pyro in the main, so I'm going to leave open the ability to swords, even though it doesn't really do very much. And there's our PO. I think a PO here makes more sense than a force because we already have Flusterstorm. It also puts a lot of fear into my opponent. We have a Fluster to answer their Fluster, and they don't know that. This game's going pretty well so far, considering my opponent led with turn 1 Ancestral. Another trainer. So they're looking to look for a force here so they can have force and Flusterstorm. Took no damage, which is really nice. Found a ruby, which is actually great. Because now I'm just going to jam this PO. And they're going to have force and Flusterstorm. So they had force, and they pitched sync. So they still have Fluster. Yeah. That's fine. Okay. If I fluster, then they fluster all of my copies on all the copies on PO, and I just lose my PO. I think I'd rather make it so they can't stock up if they have a stock up this turn. I could have used my floating mana to bounce my trainer. Probably should have, actually. They bend a PO, so their hand is fluster 3 unknowns, and I have a pretty supreme mana advantage. And here's their stock up, which is exactly why I held my fluster, because now I can fluster their stock up. Probably, yeah. This is going exactly according to plan. Ooh, they could have played the land. Guess that would have helped. Actually, it might not have helped because I had the mana to pay. So they still have a Flusterstorm. So I guess I don't want them to fluster this. Actually, I have Lurrus Bobble. So if they want to fluster this chain, I think they can fluster this chain. Because if they don't fluster this chain, it just means I kick a trainer. All right, so now they're tapped out. They only have 1 card in hand. We know they don't have force. Like, maybe this is, like, not a good use. But, like, also this chain doesn't matter very much. Because if I didn't have any actions besides trainer, then, yeah, I would want to do it on my turn to play around it. But, like, I have Lurrus Bobble, so. But even better, I have stock up into PO. No PO. Force, Lantern. Wow, these are not... This is really bad, because, like, my opponent can untap and, like, PO or stock up here. I guess what I can do is go force Lantern and try to draw a blue card. My opponent should probably be attacking, considering they can get in for 1 damage, and my life total is actually a problem. Wow, I did not draw a blue card, so I have to just buy Lurrus and hope that I don't die this turn. It's pretty unlikely that I die, but it's possible. Yeah, maybe I should not have baited the Flusterstorm with a chain. Because this is the exact problem that I didn't want to have, where my opponent gets to untap and resolve a stock up or a PO. Yeah, I mean, that was really bad for me. Especially if I don't, like, draw a blue card for turn, and I try to go for Lurrus, it gets countered, and then I'm down. Not really happy with how this exchange all played out. Like, I feel like I should be a lot farther ahead than I am. All right, here they come in. They figured it out. I'm at 10. I've won a lot of flips now, so that's pretty nice. Do I have enough to play Lurrus and have force up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do. Yeah, so let's play Lurrus. Think here we're just supposed to go with Bobble, because I have the ability to fetch away, though it does increase my clock. Okay, that's a card we want. So if I had used Lantern to draw it, I could have done it this turn. the very least. I still have Hardcast Force up. I'm a little worried, though. I am a little worried. The good news is I baited out the Flusterstorm, so this Hardcast Force is actually online. Hopefully they're just buying Lurrus. Looks like it's PO, so I just kind of have to hope. How many Flusters have they used? 1. Yeah, I think I need to keep this blue card. If I get Flusterstormed here, it is bad for me, but they have Force backup. All right. Yeah, they get a PO, but they don't have a lot of Moxen, so they draw 3 cards, and they have Trainer, Soul Ring. I guess I could have Pitch Cast and then Swords the Trainer. I still think I want to have this Merchant Scroll PO if possible. My opponent's probably going to go Soul Ring, Trainer, try to find another Force. Let's see what they find off of this Trainer. This Lurrus should help me stabilize with this Mana Crypt. I might go for the Soul Guide to try to draw an extra something for my play here. I could go Merchant Scroll Flame, Destroy. Ooh, that's not good. Stock up. All right, we have to assume that my spell's getting countered now. This whole series has gone really badly for me from the one turn where we missed. I really like the other sections of this game, which is unfortunate. But at this point, both players have resolved 3 stock ups, so anybody's game. We do have the huge mana advantage, though. Oh, cool game, though. I really like these PO matches that are close, so hopefully this doesn't mean time walk, because I think we lose the game on time walk here. Swords Lurrus. That's fine. So it's probably just like my list, or maybe like Koval's 5-0 list. That's a really good draw, because now they have to have double counterspell. All right, I'm going to start with that and see what it goes. Cool. All right, now I think the game is just over. This game's over. I go Merchant PO plus, yeah. Okay. I mean, it was a close game. I do think that we had the advantage at most points, and I really like the way we played it in terms of like baiting flusters and that kind of thing. So I was really hoping we would win that game, but it was absolutely losable from that spot where my opponent had the that stock up and 2 mana. They go time walk, they probably win. If we think that they're on the Koval 5-0 with Remoras, I might actually want Portable Hole. It's a little awkward because it's really bad against Flame of Venor. I definitely don't want Island or Chain or Swords. I also don't care that much about like a Lantern. I'd rather have a Portable Hole than a Lantern. Yeah, let's try. I actually like Lantern could be kind of nice. It's an artifact. It hits the yard. It is a looper for Lurrus. I'm gonna try just Island Chain, Swords Gone for Pyro Fluster. Pyro Negation. This hand sucks. Classic Urza Saga doesn't make mana. Another Urza Saga doesn't make mana hand. Wow, these hands are almost identical, and they're both horrible. Am I really allowed to mulligan more, though? Quite bad for me. I have to. Okay, all of my hands in this game have been terrible. But I don't really know what I was supposed to do. I think I just have to play it as it is. If they could just like turn 1 kill me, then that might be better for me. Might make me feel less bad about the situation. Ancestral. Okay, yeah, let's just go game 2, game 3. I just don't think I don't think it's really worth playing out. In an Eternal Weekend, I would play that out, obviously, but here, I think it's more useful to just get more testing games in. Okay, this hand is not like the end-all be-all of things, but it's good. I like this hand. I'm gonna time walk on turn 1 so I can stock up. Especially when my opponent is like, it's really important to put stock ups on the stack when your opponent can't Pyroblast or Flusterstorm you. Is Lantern better than a portable? We'll have to see. Force is a great draw. Donks. Force, Fluster, Trainer. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Force Fluster here. Oh, I already have a Force. I guess it can be just Fluster Trainer. I mean, I'm not playing a Trainer next turn, right? I'm making constructs, holding open all my mana. I think I'm just going to take... I think I'm in a position of power, so I'm going to try to take some controlling elements so I don't randomly lose, and I'll get to this PO, hopefully. We'll see. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. Oh, see? Yeah. That hand's better than mine. Just having Mana Crypt instead is good. This is so bad for me. Guess I have to force this, pitching PO. Ah, man, Vexing Bubble can be so good here when you have the mana advantage like that. Ugh. They're gonna stock up on turn 1 here. I think I just have to force it. Oh, they bought Lurrus. Okay. I guess this means they could go for Lurrus. I mean, I have... yeah, I don't think I care about this construct. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Soul Guide Lantern and hit this bauble. And then I'm going to crack my Lantern. Okay. Well, I am at least a little insulated against another another powerful turn. I think I'm in a really bad spot, though. It's tough. I mean, Mana Crypt, Sapphire are really strong, as seen by my Mana Crypt Sapphire game 1. But they have like a really strong look PO looking hand here. Probably going for Lotus Lurrus on my next turn. Wow, that is a lot of mana. My Flusterstorm's actually just like not very good. Just don't think constructs do anything. We get the Black Lotus. I'm going to buy Lurrus and play Lurrus. And I'll replay Lotus because I don't want to replay Lantern. Are they just gonna hard cast a force here? That is not enough for me to fluster. So their hand is Lurrus with nothing in the yard. I mean, my fluster is just like super dead, right? I could just force this pitching fluster because like, what is this fluster even doing? So at this point now I can replay Lantern, or I can go Lotus Trainer, or I could go Lotus Pass. Probability of hitting a blue card is fairly high, but next turn I could kick this Trainer if I don't force. And I'm not forcing Lurrus from this spot. So like their last card in hand or the card they draw has to be like a PO or something for me to force it. Probably have to force a stock up because stock up could take action plus Pyro. Looks like Lurrus. It's fine. I don't think I care about Lurrus. All this does is stop the ground game. All right, they have one card left. We still have force, so I think we came ahead here. The opponent had a lot of more mana than us, but this time that actually came back to hurt them because they didn't have enough power action. Oh man, these games are really tough. This means I don't actually have to crack my I don't have to replay my Lotus. So what I'll do here is I'm gonna just use my Lotus and kick this trainer, and if they counter it, that's okay. They could have PO'd, like had PO in response here, but I think I will just take PO. And probe as a blue card. And then I'm gonna PO just these three. I can have Fluster or Pyro here. Though they might have had to, yeah, okay. So now I have enough blue cards where I can make sure I know what their last card is. Okay, they got nothing. Nothing. Game is over. I think I like, so I could kick another trainer. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's kick another trainer. And we're one here. Take this mental misstep. I don't think I need a fourth to win this game. I was kind of hoping to maybe hit a Moxen so that I could use my Lorien, but I just like don't need to do anything. Like I have enough counter spells, like they can't draw enough cards in a turn that matter. Well, my opponent should probably have used this Meticulous Archive on their main phase, so they could have put the Soul Ring in the yard and played it last turn. It wouldn't have made very much of a difference, but it would have been extra value. Always got to look for ways to turn on your Lurrus. But we're going to win this game by playing control, so. We're going to counter any blue payoff, basically, and that's it, basically. I don't know. Merchant Scroll. Let the Merchant Scroll happen. Takes one more payoff out of their deck, and I can always rebuy Lantern, so I can't get like Snapcastered. All right, now they're completely out of magic cards. GG's. Yeah, GG's for I think opponent played these well. I think they were interesting set. That's good practice. Pretty happy that happened. All right, so we got another shot here. We got Shockwave. Shockwave always kicks my butt, so it wants to be a good temp. This is the classic Mox Opal hand. This is why some players will just refuse to play more than one Mox Opal. I think it's powerful enough that you just take some of these bad stuff that comes with it. But it's just a mulligan, so. This hand is awkward to say the least, but there's some amount of awkward hands with this deck. I'm not sure how you can really get around it. That is really bad for me. Mana Crypt is so strong. Ooh, wow. Shockwave does play a bunch peculiar like Tinker PO decks. It's a really, really strong start. If I was on the play, we'd be in a lot better shape. Man. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. We have to I don't even think like finding a force is even getting us there. Mental misstep is a little late. I don't actually think playing a Vexing Bubble at this point helps me. If they PO, they probably win anyways, so I'm just gonna get to play my mana and hope we survive a turn, I guess. We're just super dead. Sometimes your opponent opens up. I mean, we did this to our opponent in one of our games, right? Where we opened up with Mana Crypt. Not as good as this one. But you need to be willing to take some of these kind of games on the chin if you're playing Vintage. That's just what you sign up for when you play the format. I assume this is just PO for 4 with backup. Yeah, I mean, oh, Karn. All right, well, Karn is actually not as bad for me as PO would be here. So, although Karn is a huge problem, and we are probably still dead, it is less of a problem than a PO would be. So, I think we got that going for us, which is nice. Don't know if he plays a Lattice. Was hoping to hit a natural land here. Did not do so. I guess there was no reason for me not to get Meticulous Archive. Oh well. Slight mistake for sure. Didn't find a force either, so I'm still like still super dead. I could technically be representing Chain here. I think I wanted to hit a natural land so that I could play it. Oh, Justin! Justin! Okay, I made a mistake, chat. What I should have done... Ah, yes. This, in fact, is a land. What I should have done is I should have played this, take 3 damage, and played Trainer and try to find a force. They do have Lattice. They're just going to jam it. Yeah. That's on me. Let's see if my top 4 cards are a force. I guess I can't because Magic Online doesn't work like that. Okay, I don't know why I missed that one, but I guess that's a thing that can happen. I don't know if it would have mattered much, but if I did have a force, they definitely would not have gone for Lattice unless they had force backup. I think here it's just a simple swap like last time with Pyroblast in, and Lantern Island Swords out. I'm gonna leave Chain this time instead of Lantern. I think the Lantern's a little bit better against the Lurrus deck, and the Chain can be decent against these like Karn, Tinker, Citadel stuff. Yeah, I think people have already noticed. But when I play off stream in low stakes, I make a lot more like play quickly, don't do certain things mistakes. And I don't think that's particularly because of like chat. Some people will be like, oh yeah, it's because you don't have chat or whatever. But I think it's just more less locked in, more trying to I have to focus more on trying to like make thoughts and stuff occur because I don't have chat to bounce off of. I think what I like here is God, I don't have any. I have no clue. All of these look really good. This is like my opponent's hand, but my hand this time. Am I playing Lurrus and or am I just casting stock up? I think I'm just casting stock up. I think stock up is better than playing Lurrus here. Pyro, Bauble, PO. Pyro, Bauble, PO, Opal. I think I'm still supposed to play this hand with the idea that my opponent can have a force. Maybe I'm not supposed to play Lotus before stock up then. I make plays reasonably fast for content. I don't have to sit through. I sit through in thoughts that I think make sense, and I'll go back and revisit thoughts that I overlooked. But it's definitely not me playing at my best. That's for sure. Off-stream like moxes and stuff are definitely in paper. Probably off-stream moxes more than off-stream paper. I'm trying to think here. Like, obviously, there were a lot of ways I could have approached this turn. And I think the way I want to really approach this turn is with a land. So what I think I'm going to do here is I am going to take Pyro PO and try to stock up into a land force. And that way I have... There's just no lands in my top 23 cards. How many cards did I go through? 7 plus 17? All right, well, I'm going to take Force and Sapphire and represent Force Fluster and then go for a win on the next turn, I guess. Wow, I did not expect to have no lands in the... Jesus, okay. This is definitely a spot where Pyro is looking a little sus, but I was hoping to find like fetch land so I could... Yep. If I had Fluster, I'd probably just Fluster there. Because I have Pyro back up for my PO. I'm actually weak to Fluster on my turn, right? Unless I hit land. Crazy that I found just nothing. I played around Strip Mine. Tezzeret. So Tezzeret can find Chalice if Shockwave plays it. I think I just force this. If I have force back and then play Chalice, then whatever. I just still maybe I don't PO. Who knows? This also plays around negation. What a crazy, crazy game. Those were 2 stock ups. I was kind of hoping to find like Talarian Academy. The range of things I can hit on looking at the top 10 cards is pretty high. To be fair though, if I had gone Lurrus Lotus and they had no counter magic and I stocked up and missed on Force, I was in a really bad spot. But I guess at that point I would have had at least... No, I would have nothing. They pitched PO to resolve their Tezzeret. Do they have a Chalice? If they don't have a Chalice, they probably just get Black Lotus or Sapphire or something. Okay, they got Sapphire. Okay. What does that mean? Flusterstorm? It must mean Flusterstorm. So all I want to do here is hit a land so I can cast PO. Trainer. I can't beat a Flusterstorm, and that's the only... I mean, they knew I had Pyro, so there's certainly a world in which they just wanted to make sure their Tezzeret resolves, and they don't actually have anything. But, like, if they do have Fluster, am I winning this game? I guess I have a follow-up trainer. I think I'll go -1 mana just in case so I can hold up Pyro on their turn. Ah, they didn't have it. It was a bait. All right. I mean, this works out really well for me, so I'm okay with that. Obviously, I went -1 mana, but the reason is because if they Flusterstorm me and I lose my red mana, then I don't have Pyro on their turn. Oh, maybe I should not have used... Oh, they had Consign. Yeah, I just don't care. I don't really like bringing in Consign in this matchup. Maybe I should have gone for Lurrus is what I was thinking about. This is hard cast force, and I mean this is just a pass with all the things up, and then next turn we can buy Lurrus, kick a trainer, do whatever we want. Yeah, I mean if they want to. Oh, why'd I do that? I have a Mox Opal. All right, let me meticulous archive. I am definitely not making good decisions. Okay. This opened me up to strip mine for no reason, which is fine. My opponent might not even bother. And then for me, I have 7 mana. I can kick a trainer. Probably just kick a trainer. Threatens this Tezzeret as well. Finds me 2 cards. PO. Bluster. Yeah, I mean we're gonna win this game. We're just so far ahead. Trainer is really so strong. Jace the Mind Sculptor. I will force pitch Flusterstorm on your Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah. Classic Shockwave deck. Yeah, we'll run it back. We'll run it back. Man, it's hand on the draw. Can't imagine mulliganing this hand. Even though my opponent is super volatile, like they can play these planeswalkers and play a grindy game too. It's a very interesting deck. Like Shockwave PO is always fun to play against because it has a little bit of volatile versatility is what I'm gonna call it. Unfortunately for my opponent, he is on a mulligan of 4 at the moment, but their mulligan could be, you know, land, Lotus, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Mulligan to 3, wow. It's unfortunate because I kind of wanted to play this game 3 out and see how it would go. I mean, we're going to play it out. Opponent is usually one to play it out, but the good news for them is their deck should probably have access to things like Mana Crypt, land, or, you know, Mana Crypt, land, Tinker as a 3-card hand. Saga is certainly a helpful card on a 3-card hand. Saga Soul Ring, make constructs, 1 other card in hand. Saga Soul Ring Petal. All right. Not the worst 3-card hand. I don't have a powerful one on my side. I'm definitely going to just use that to... Oh, that was a really, really good draw. It's a really strong draw. Oh, oops. Sorry. Just doing things out of order. Hopefully that doesn't cost me. I did not mean to do that, obviously. I am not playing particularly clean matches of Magic the Gathering, huh? It's fine. I just knew I had another Mox Opal coming. No Mox off of this is actually quite problematic for me because... Wow, yeah, it's actually really bad for me. I might lose this game. I don't think the Mox changed anything, but I guess I would have because I would have left my Vexing Bobble in play. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, is Justin going to get punished for playing too fast? I feel like he's going to get a Vexing Bobble here, so I can't have Force Up. I have Dress Down in my deck still. I still have a stock up coming, so it's like I should just do this in case there's a Needle or something. Definitely don't want negation. Yeah, Vexing Bobble makes a lot of sense. Gonna try to win on the ground. Also makes a ton of sense. I don't think it will really work with like trainers in my deck, but I'm gonna cast stock up. This Vexing Bobble is really problematic because I can't win fast now. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Time Walk and fourth. Even at the worst case scenario, this can just do a bunch of blocking. God, if it was Flusterstorm off there, it'd be really bad. I could lose to like anything. So here I am just going to kick a trainer. Give me a bunch of blockers and should just be my path forward. Actually, I think I'm gonna snap a Time Walk first. Just give me one more blocker. I can always PO back my Snapcaster. So what I'll do here is I'll snap a Time Walk and I'll play a trainer. And that way my trainer can find me Flame or Stress Down. Alright, Merchant Scroll is technically Flame, so... Okay. I mean, my opponent's still probably drawing to Planeswalkers here, but should be good. I played this really poorly. I apologize. That can happen. I am human and playing dumbly. I've been doing a lot of that. To be fair, like the last video, which was the challenge, I did not play super well and missed out on top 8 because of it. And then the video I recorded that'll air on Friday, I did not play super well. Uh-oh. I'm just getting loosey-goosey. It's tale as old as time, though. Swords? Well, yeah. I mean, I can't force anything right now, so... My opponent could have... There's my dress down after I use my flame, of course. I'm gonna leave myself the ability to pay for... a Fluster or a Spell Pierce here. GG's, Shockwave. Always a pleasure to play against Shockwave. That was a pretty close game for a Molda 3, but I did help in that sense. Always fun to play against this deck. It's very cool. Chase the Mind Sculptor. Best ever. Alright, let's continue and hopefully become a better player. Storm? And a Magus? Does that mean I'm getting humaned? Could be getting humaned. That'd be cool. See. I mean, I guess there's something to be said about the fact that I think I've been playing like really badly online in the last few videos, right? And I am still winning a lot. So the power of my deck to play through mistakes, quite high. Deathrite Shaman off Once Upon a Time. Not exactly the card I expected to see, but I did expect to see creatures. This is our opponent's MO. Ooh, turn 1 stock up. I'm gonna fetch out the volcanic. It obviously exposed me to wasteland, but I think that's fine. Ancestral jet. Yeah, I like ancestral jet. I do think my opponent will probably cast Collect Roof on this turn, or like Archon or something like that. Oh no, I'm bad. I'm bad. I should not have fetched because it gives my opponent a Death Ray Shaman. I should have used Tundra. That was silly. That was so silly. Man, like I'm saying, like I'm just not playing. I'm not playing good. But the good, I guess the silver lining is that I do recognize that these are mistakes. It'd be a lot worse if I was making these like very huge mistakes. And I mean these aren't huge, you know, reasonably sized mistakes and not immediately recognizing it. That would be an even bigger problem. As long as I know that they're mistakes, I can identify them for the next time. Yeah, so I give my opponent additional mana here when I just had no reason to. I guess I'll pitch this PO. I don't know. Just in case something bad happens, like a veil off of this. Seems like the mistake didn't matter at all in this match, but it definitely could have. I want to cast... Sure. I think I want to cast... I want to cast Trainer with the possibility of hitting Opal so I can hold open Flame. Or I can just cast... I don't know, man. They're all going to win the game. They're all going to win the game. Wait, it makes no sense for me to play Tundra, though. All right, fine, whatever. It's fine. Oh, I hate when I have a hand that like every card wins the game, and then I just debate over which one's the best one to win the game with. Even if my opponent had resolved a Collect Roof, like it's not actually stopping me from this spot, right? Just gonna take the fourth and look to win the game. I mean, it's just like anything wins the game is the problem, so it's tough to choose. Flame is gonna win the game here. PO is gonna win the game here. Fort's gonna win the game here. Saga's gonna win the game here. Lurrus is gonna win the game here. All right, so Wasteland answers the Saga. And then another Oof would answer these. And then Flame would answer that. Oh, can't be countered. Trample, haste. Creatures you control can't be countered. Combat damage can't be prevented. This spell can't be countered. You got it. Card does not do very much. Doesn't pressure me. Has Trample, haste. I have a mana crypt. Unfortunately, don't think that matters very much, but won't even attack into my trainers. I just assume I'm getting Wasteland past the turn, and then I'm probably POing and looking for a fourth to win. We're not getting Wasteland. I'm not going to Wasteland the Saga token. Like the Saga? Are we doing it now? Okay. Saga does not matter to them, I guess. Man. Just going to buy Lurrus, play Lurrus. Replay Lotus. Have everything up. And try to win on the next turn. I mean, I'm probably just supposed to PO and win. Realistically, I'm probably just supposed to PO and win, but I don't know. These are the things that throw me off the most. Oh, Savannah Bayou Scrubland. That's a Storm Animagus special. Classic. Just holding open this flame. If they play another, if he plays another, oof, I can kill it. And then next turn we'll just cast a fourth and probably won't be enough. So maybe I'll cast a PO first. What is the plan? There's no plan. There's no plan apparently. Red and white. And just cast a fourth. It actually is lethal. I was kind of worried about like a random Force of Vigor or something on my PO that I just didn't want to deal with. So that's the plan I went with. Portable Hole, Swords to Plowshares, and Planes come in. Just like a mono white or a bug or something like that. And then I'm going to take out like Opal, Fluster, Vexing Bauble, Lantern, that kind of cards. That's probably the ones I want to take out the most. I don't really have anything else to say. It's just it's not even a standard Hatebears deck. It's a serve Hatebears deck. He's always got crazy one-ofs, so it'll be fun to see what comes our way. We have more than enough tools to deal with that. I do think it's unfortunate for people like our opponent who historically play like these human Hatebear style decks because their big advantage was fighting on an axis that blue decks weren't ready for. And fortunately now, blue decks are super ready for this kind of fight because mono white initiative is so prevalent. Mono white initiative forced these blue decks to play for Swords of Plowshares when, you know, a Tinker PO deck and historically just wouldn't play that much removal. So it's actually a harder space for them to work their like creature-based brews in than before because there's actually a good aggro deck in the format. I have a cat. That's a hand that I will happily accept. I will keep. I don't know how Storm is currently feeling on Cavern. I'm just going to force this. Just in case there's a cavern. Or like multiple turn 1 plays that matter. Could come back and bite me, obviously, but I think it's going to give me the highest chance of doing the thing I want to do. So my opponent had turn 1 Ice Till Explorer Wasteland loop, and they had turn 1 or turn 1 Oof. Okay, I am going to start with casting a few Ancestrals. Get a basic island. And then Mox, Lotus. I'm gonna go Time Walk Trainer. I think. Ooh. That wasn't what I wanted exactly. I won't have enough mana next turn to PO, so I guess I'm gonna stock up. I was thinking I'd go like Time Walk Trainer, hit a Mox so that my Tolarian was turned on, snap Ancestral. My opponent is not happy about me having blue power in my deck. But I will, of course, remind them that if you do not put blue power in your deck, you cannot complain about someone else putting blue power in the deck. If we both have blue power and I draw it and you don't, you have a higher complaint equity. All right, so my opponent gets to go Wasteland and Oof here, which is reasonable. But I have acquired considerable advantage. Oh, they are not going to go waste. Yeah, they're still going to go Wasteland and Oof here. Sure. I actually can't like make a play this turn, which is kind of annoying. But probably fine. I'm not sure that I actually like the way I sequenced my game in this one. I feel like I could have done it better, but that's okay. All right, only one card left that we know about. They can eat my Volcanic and play this Ice Till Explorer, which is immediately a Wasteland lock. Which is pretty good. As I currently don't have swords, but my stock up should be able to find me some swords. Yeah, I actually kind of feel like I am in not the best spot because of the way I sequence this. They're not going to go for it. They're just going to wait. Guess that's fine. I don't have more basics. Oh, hey, look, swords. That's pretty good here. I just, unfortunately for my opponent, I don't see how their deck could ever really beat mine outside of like a strip mine lock or a wasteland lock early. Oh, wait, we got a counterspell of some kind. Some kind of green counterspell. Protection. That's in their range for sure. Ah, Abrupt Decay on my Mana Vaults. Sure, yeah. Doesn't actually stop me from casting stock up here. I'm going to go and fetch a Tundra because I want to still be able to use this 4th Airlingas later. And I'm holding my Academy for a bigger burst, but maybe I shouldn't be. I'll take another Swords, and I'll take a stock up. Just every turn, gaining extreme advantages. So I don't know if this turn they'll go for like the Ice Till Explorer Wasteland. I have the swords for the Ice Till Explorer. They probably will have enough Wastelands where... Oh, I guess maybe they needed a land last turn to go for Ice Till Explorer. But then they can still play the Wasteland. So they're always going to have like enough Wastelands to like get rid of all my stuff. So... Also, at some point, I can like buy Lurrus, play Lurrus, rebuy Lotus. Oh, they're gonna play the Frenzied Baloth. Guess I could have left my Snapcaster back to possibly block that thing. My bad. I wasn't really interested in countering their cards anyways. It does put some pressure down on 11. I regret attacking. I can tell you that much. I wasn't gonna win this game by attacking. Well, I mean, I am going to win this game by attacking, but not in the way that mattered here. I think I am just going to cast for... I shouldn't have done this. It's fine. I'm just going to cast another stock up. Portable Hole, Chain of Vapor Saga. Let's go with Portable Hole and Trainer. And then I will I'll use Portable Hole on their Deathrite Shaman. Keep them away from their 4-drop. And they can't really attack into me anyways. And then now they don't even have Wastelands going, so I'm pretty protected. Also makes my Tellurian Academy better. Sure. Past the point of that mattering. Not that I think I played too many turns past the first turn. Another swords. Let's kick a trainer. Yeah, my cards are just so much stronger. Let's grab a Flame of Anor. Grab a flame. I don't know if I want to grab 2 Flame of Anors. In case I get Wastelanded. Let's grab a Force. Obviously, I can't hit creature spells, but maybe they have like something I could hit. I can hit them later once I remove this, so. Can't be countered Deathrite Shaman. I think I will just... It just doesn't matter, man. I'll go red, blue, this, and I will deal 5 to the Baloth. What? I did it again! Alright, I need to figure out what I'm doing wrong. I wanted to draw 2 cards off of that. I did this. I did this on in the challenge as well. I guess I just... Did I click draw target? I must just not be clicking it. I didn't actually go back and look. I must just like not be clicking it. All right, they're gonna pass, so I'll just swords this thing. Didn't even eat. Sure, I'll just cast this thing. GG's. I really gotta figure out. I want to go back and look and just make sure I figure out why I'm not hitting these things. Oh wait, I might be confusing this person with a different person who plays mono white humans. Sometimes it blends together. Sorry. Yeah, I thought this was the humans guy. Either way, I was just chatting with him about. Yeah, he was mad about the ancestral time walk, but I think it's not a huge deal. Ancestral time walk stuff. I mean, to be fair, I guess like a turn one Wasteland Explorer, Wasteland Lock would be really prohibitive against me. Though also if that had happened, I would have just forced it. So I kind of put myself in a little bit of a rough spot where I forced the Lotus because I was scared of Cavern, and I'm not even sure there's any Caverns in the deck. So kind of a little bit tough there, but yeah, like if you can just like play your Moccasin and lands and Thunder Trap into stock ups and sword, it's really gonna be tough to play these creature decks. All right, one more match. We'll see how many more times I can mess up in one stream. To be fair, again, I'm 3-1 while bumbling my way through the game. I'll keep this one. Obviously, there's some problems with this hand. But maybe I won't mess up my order this time. All right, so my opponent is at least under the bobble for a second. Oh, God. Might have to break the bobble immediately. Crawly, scrawly, crawly. Ugh. I don't typically find Crawler to be annoying, but the way my hand is currently situated is so bad. I want to be able... I'm just going to crack. I like Mental Misstep in this matchup. I just think I just need more. I think I just need more. I mean, I would have definitely wished I had cracked on turn one. If I knew I was going to hit a land, I might have. I need to get myself to a position where I'm actually doing something that matters. I'm going to get Island just in case they're on Sphere Shops. And then I kind of want this to hit like Mana Crypt. Wow, that's really bad for me. I really did need to turn on this Opal here. Can't even cast stock up right now. I don't know. Maybe I played this game badly. I didn't know what they were on. I can't really crack the bobble there. And then I think I want to crack the bobble because I just want to be able to like... Because if I like don't crack the bobble right and I go to my turn and I play Trainer... I mean, maybe I'm just supposed to leave the stupid Crawler and play to draw me more cards. But it like... kind of goes against how I wanted this game to play out. But maybe I should have just gone with my typical answer to Crawler, which is let it draw me cards and then kill it and then win anyways. That might have been the case. They didn't play any Moxen though, so might not just not been doing anything anyways. Though the thing it was definitely doing was turning on my Opal. Oh, Patchy Boy. Okay, so it still could be Raker or Sphere Shops. Oh, here's a Mox. Patchy Boy, I'm even less afraid of than Scrawling Crawler. Multiple Moxen. The card I'm the most afraid of is Flush Raker. That card is nuts. Okay, it is Sphere Shops. Okay. Yeah, see, this is what I was worried about. I'm really screwed now, though. I think I need to keep stock up because it's my likely... If I draw a land, I can cast it still. I'm going to lose this game if I had to guess. I did play around Wasteland correctly, though, so that was good. I'm going to lose this game. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't... Yeah, this is really bad. This is quite bad for me. I think I'm going to lose. My deck is not geared for Sphere Shops, by the way. It is really, really not geared for Sphere Shops. Sphere Shops has made a bit of a comeback recently, but like I could have Hercules Recalls and stuff, but all I have is some Consigns. I am not expecting a whole hell of a lot of Sphere Shops at Eternal Weekend. Went for the Strip Mine Lock. Makes sense. And another Patchy. Yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. That is not a good draw. That is like the one. That is not a good draw. Stock up's got to hit some nice stuff for me. Wow, these cards are just not good. All right, game 2. I mean, this was going to be a tough one regardless. Quite a strong Sphere Shops draw. And I did not have a great opener in terms of progressing my own game plan. Always interesting that people are choosing to play Scrawly and Crawly inside of Sphere Shops. I kind of think it goes like an antithesis to the whole idea of what Sphere Shops is supposed to be doing. I'm going to play an Opal on the play, but it likely won't have them on the draw. I have no interest in Probe. Definitely want Chain. Don't think I want Dress Down. This definitely is a really bad Lurrus setup, which is fine. Um, don't even know what the next one out is. Maybe it is just another. I actually don't think Vexing Bubble is particularly good at all against their deck. So, all right, definitely a bit more controlling on my part, but I still have some amount of power. This is acceptable. It's not great, but it's acceptable. I've got Mana Crypt. I can Lorien Revealed for my basic island. And then I can Trainer, which puts me in position to possibly Flame of Anor on the next turn. Lotus. Definitely taking Lotus. Doesn't do anything right now, but I gotta make sure I cast this Flame of Anor 2 modes. That's important, and I need to do it. Mana Crypt's a good one. What else you got for me? Mana Crypt Workshop. Soul Ring. 6 mana turn 1. Sphere. Not playing around Sphere this time. Crawler. All right. So the cool thing here is my fetch. I could theoretically play kill Crawler, kill Sphere. I think I have to buy Lurrus though. I could pay the 4 mana flame on the Crawler and Sphere, but where does that really get me? I mean, it gets me to holding open force. I kind of want to draw the card though. I could also just like play Ambush Viper Snapcaster. I really want to play Lurrus. Can't play Lurrus though because of Sphere. This is like probably the most important point of the match. It's a really hard choice. If I buy Lurrus, I can't really force on their turn. I really don't know the right answer. Destroy artifact, deal 5 damage. It's quite a perplexing spot. And I can't say that I am particularly confident in my choice. I think that one matters that much. That's it. All right. Both lost our flips. Opal is fine. I will buy Lurrus. If I were to draw a Pearl, that'd be great. No Rod. Can't let that resolve. Just gonna get rid of the Snapcaster Mage. I mean, I could, because I do have a chain, but don't think it's very good for me. Lost another flip. Stonks. Wow! I just cannot hit a land off a stock up. Holy crap. Oh, Time Walk PO. Wow, that is bad. I think I can take another hit here because I can have a really good PO. Lost another flip. Not good. I need to hit like Mox or land or something, man. I can't just sit here just losing flips and not hitting anything. I lost all my flips. I drew Consign. I can't even cast PO. Was this my fault? I mean, I can consign my trigger next turn, but I have to block this patchwork now. I mean, I can chain the patchwork and then just hope I win the... Yeah, I guess I can just do that. I don't... I guess I should have attacked. Doesn't change anything unless I attack 3 times, though. I lost all my crypt flips, except for 1, maybe. Bounce this. Pay the ward. Oh, I definitely should have attacked. I get 1 more force in this game. They're probably supposed to sack a land and bounce. Maybe not. That's my last force. They don't have a follow-up. All right. So I do think I can sign this one because it gives me an extra draw here. Come on, Mox. Fetch land. I think everything that could go wrong here went wrong. And they won another flip. Besides, they drew pretty badly. I lost every flip and died. Okay. I don't know that game was my fault. The flame play might have been bad. The flame play might have been bad. Okay. I'd have to go back and look exactly at what happened in this game, but I think the biggest point of contention is that Black Lotus. I could have bought Lurrus and pass, but I couldn't force. I feel like it would have been really bad for me. We had some really bad spots in this league where we I wanted to stock up for mana and I just missed. Which doesn't feel great. But we did go 3-2 anyways. I think for how bad some of those spots our deck put us in, and for how bad I played in a few of the spots, including like one mode Flame of Anor again and missing obvious choices. 3-2 is acceptable. It does make me wish that maybe maybe I should practice some more than I already am, because I've been playing so badly. But it also might just be like this whole idea of off-stream league recording practice is just not very useful. It's good because I get to record it and make it a video. It's bad because I don't think it's actually helping me. I think that I'm putting too much effort into making the voiceover good and not enough effort into actually practicing. So I think in the future, maybe these videos just don't end up ever being leagues off-stream practice recordings, because I don't know if it's serving me, but it's probably serving players and the video pretty well. So maybe it's fine, because every time if you make and identify mistakes, I think it makes the video better, because people are going to learn more from clear, identifiable mistakes that are talked about. I'll have to think about it some more. Either way, I don't think I want to see sphere shops. I think I've actually moved my needle from the deck I want to see the least is sphere shops out instead of dredge. I don't think that my deck is bad against sphere shops. Like, I don't think it's or I don't think my deck is like, I don't think it's a nightmare matchup or anything. It's just not geared for it, right? Like, I'm just not running the same amount of Hercles and things as I would be in the past, and there are just so many ways that things can fall apart and die. That was an extreme example, but I think the game one was a better example of like, I had a pretty okay hand that had a bunch of interaction, but like double force isn't actually very good against sphere shops, which sounds kind of weird, because what you really want to do as the PO player is force their first lock piece and then kill them. So like when you have this super reactive hand with double force, you end up spending way too many resources on trying to stop them, and they're going to have more things to force than two most of the time, because their whole deck is like these restricted pieces. So it doesn't line up very well. I think I could have won game one if I'm hitting like the mana to turn on the Mox Opal to PO, and in game two the mana to turn on the Lurrus or the Mox Opal to PO. I do feel like it was both those games had like pretty reasonable sequences of draws that would be winning, but they also have plenty of reasonable sequences of draws that don't, because this deck has a series of cards that are clunky and hard to cast. So a lot to think about moving into Eternal Weekend, which will be right around the corner. This will air on Wednesday. There'll be one more Wednesday night stream. We'll do something fun, and then I'm gonna be off to Pittsburgh with my next attempt to become Eternal Weekend champion. More vintage content on the YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.